Hello and welcome back to the Villa View for a match preview. We're recording this one a little bit early. The games are coming thick and fast. For this one I'm joined by James Rushton. James, how are you, mate?
All good, man. Especially happy to get that second City derby win against Birmingham. Get some 3 points and actually, our playoff position isn't looking that bad. We've got
Yeah.
promise now, so I'm pretty happy with that, pretty pleased.
Yeah, lots to talk about. Obviously it's Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. This is a massive week for Villa. I think there's 3 games in 6 days. Birmingham, Forest and Borough. We've already picked up 3 points so far. If we can continue some kind of form this week, as I said to Dan yesterday, we could be looking at a very different Aston Villa this time next week.
Yeah, I mean, look, 4 points off these playoff positions, it's hard to make up. You've got to expect that other teams will drop points. The issue for Villa is their verse. They're playing these teams. You got Forest, Middlesbrough, and then Bristol City, and even Leeds down the road. Yeah, and Norwich. So, I mean, Norwich, they're winning it surely or coming second. I don't really see them dropping out just because of how good they've been all season. But, the question is there that Villa are playing all of these massive teams who are in the playoff places. A few of these games are at home as well.
Yeah.
So Villa have got a lot to gain, and this may not happen, this probably won't happen. Villa have a chance to actually jump into the playoffs. Take it as it comes. Let's enjoy the football. Look, things are enjoyable again. There's no reason for us to moan anymore. There's no reason for us to get angry. This is a really positive place to be. There's going to be a lot of change next season. It's going to be hard, but right now it's enjoyable. We've just beat Blues. We beat Derby in exceptional circumstances. Jack Grealish scored a worldie, and then does it again almost against Blues. We've got a story this season now, and it's becoming a positive one. So let's all get behind that and enjoy it, because I faced a lot of comments, and I get them after the Derby game. Does this gloss over everything that's happened? And I'm saying, yeah, it does. It's a massive win. It glosses over everything. Paper over those cracks. That's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that we won. I'm happy that we beat Blues. We're in a different position now than we were a month ago. It's a hell of a lot more positive. So let's just take that for what it's worth and do our job as fans to kind of buoy this team, be that 12th man, and see what we can do to support this team and hopefully push them to limits that, even beyond what we've seen already. We've seen Jack Grealish completely run the show in the Championship. Let's push him to further level. If he is to leave, let's make it one hell of an ending for his Aston Villa career at this stage.
If on Thursday night Dan and Chris are talking about a Villa win again against Forest away, which is again tough game. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but if results keep going our way, to think that 3 or 4 weeks ago we're going, there's nothing to play for. All of a sudden we've all got that little glint in our eye going, is it possible? Are we a little bit mental and that we should be going, no, it's over. But 4 points isn't a lot, so how can you even say that? You've got to believe, otherwise what's the point of all this? If you don't believe that you might be able to sneak it, you're not just going to sit here and go, nah, we'll lose Wednesday, we'll lose Saturday, forget it, there's no point. Let's win every game, why not? Why can't we?
Yeah, I think we should go for it. I think we absolutely should go for it and do what we can to kind of end the season on a really positive note, because it has been a long and trying season in some aspects. And look, over winter, that was awful. And I know it's still cold and windy outside, but we're getting into spring now. Let's see what we can do to go into the summer happy and in a more positive place than we were last season, when it was kind of all despair as we hit the rocks after the playoff final. If we had to repeat last season, losing the playoff final, even if we aren't going to make it all, I ain't going to be too upset. We are a Championship team now, and we need to prove ourselves in more ways than one. And that has to come with or without Jack Grealish, and with or without any positivity brought from the players that we've grown up with, in essence. So, yeah, let's see what we can do. We're in a better place than we were, and I hope Villa fans can kind of see why we were so bad. And I think it definitely is because we lack Jack Grealish, who is an absolute game changer at this level, and that was discounted far too heavily by all of us, I think.
Yeah, I put a tweet out before today just asking if anyone wanted us to talk about anything or if they got any points I wanted us to go over, and I got a good comment from Stephen Deakin. He says, I was thinking there's every chance we might suffer a reaction from yesterday's game with all the mental and physical effort we've put in. Hopefully we don't, but we've seen it before. We have a big result and then followed by an average performance. Do you think that could be the possibility with Wednesday coming so fast after Sunday? Obviously the comparison is Wolves and QPR last season.
It's hard to say. I think we have a lot of momentum behind us, and yeah, we had that against Wolves last season, but I think that was a much more trying game against Blues yesterday. It took a lot of that out of the team. I think there will be rotation. There'll naturally be rotation. John McGinn will probably come in, which would be a massive shot in the arm for this team and this club. I don't know. I really don't know, because you can only really say that after the fact. We could only really say Steve Bruce should have rotated after that Wolves win. We've had massive success playing the same team really have. We haven't suffered greatly due to a lack of rotation this season, and I expect that to
Apart
continue.
from in the defence, though. I think Sky
Yeah,
said yesterday, I think there's been 15 combinations of a Villa back four. I don't know whether that includes the goalkeeper as well. That's been our downfall, and I mean, it's plain to see for everyone, isn't it? I'm not making some special point there. That's what's gone wrong this season, but if it's injuries and stuff that's been the problem with Chester, Hutton, Neelan's had a big injury, then we've brought one in and he's gone out now, Steers in. There's nothing you can do, is there, in some of those situations? You just have to sort of crack on and deal with it, but that's the problem.
we have seen with Mings and Howes how important balance is to this defence. Not necessarily rotation. You can plug and play anyone you want in there almost now. It looks like it works. It looks like you can put Almo in at right back one week and then Hutton in at right back the other, and it works. Howes at left back, Taylor at left back, and it works. These players have their flaws, but we seem to have found a decent formula there. The problem is balance now, because we have got three left-footed players playing in the back four. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but when two of them are the centre backs, one of them's going to have to readjust.
We had a question: do you start McGinn, and if so, who for? He's the big one, isn't he? He's the one where you look at as being the obvious choice to come straight back in. If he starts, who are you dropping, mate?
Unfortunately, it's going to be Glenn Whelan. Horahan is fairly adept at playing deeper. I don't want to see him there. He's so dynamic going forward, Horahan. But if you want that choice, you want to put McGinn higher up, because he's, it's not a criticism. I think a few followers of the Scottish national team have picked up on it. He's fairly wasteful going forward. He can lose possession, and he does work hard to get it back. He can make the bad pass. All players are guilty of that, but I'd rather that happen further up the pitch than further back. And I think Horahan is a bit of a safer option further back. So Whelan comes out, and that's a shame, because he's really done well this season. But John McGinn is John McGinn, and John McGinn is no doubt our player of the season. If it's not Jack Grealish or Tammy Abraham, John McGinn is definitely in that conversation.
Well, those subs changed the game, didn't they, against Birmingham? He came on, sparked a little bit of energy in that midfield. Andre Green as well came on at the same time. Another one that is he in contention with a start for Wednesday? There's going to be rotation, so to be honest, both wingers, in my opinion, were pretty ineffective the other day. I think when the sub came off, I was saying probably going to be Whelan and Adoma that come off, but if it's Whelan and El Ghazi, you probably wouldn't raise too many eyebrows at that either. That either or of those wingers could have come off at that point. So is Andre Green worth a start as well? Again, he looked lively when he came on.
The problem with Villa's wingers is, I don't even know what the problem is. I'm not going to say they're bad or they're weak or they're slow. It's just they've been so ineffective this season for large portions of it. And it's a general form problem. They've been massively out of form. And that even extends to Andre Green, who he didn't have a great game against Derby when he came on for a cameo. He was on his weaker side. I'll give him that. And for Blues, he did look electric for maybe the first 10 minutes, first 5 minutes even. But he didn't really get into the game, and I saw a lot of lost possession. I think maybe that is just the game state. Blues are at home. They were playing more direct. They were putting us on the back foot, and we were in front, so they had to chase the lead. So they had more of the ball, and thus were putting pressure on us. So that is probably just how the game went. But I don't know. I think he deserves a start. I think he deserves a crack at the whip and see what he can do, because Al Ghazi and Adoma, they haven't been massively bad. They haven't been really poor. But I think there are form issues and consistency issues there. And it's a shame. It is a shame to see that Al Ghazi kind of hasn't really delivered on his early promise this season. I think when he first came in under Steve Bruce, we was like, whoa, what a player, wow. But, apart from a few, really deep, really, really, really good displays of technique and skill and pace and power and all that, it hasn't really been there, and he hasn't been a constant threat like Adoma was last season. And then you go into Adoma, and he's just not. Maybe he overperformed last season, and that's a shame. So, because I love Albert Adoma. He's a wicked player. He's someone who always brings a smile to your face. But when they ain't performing, it's just it's really hard to kind of say you are in the team every single week.
We'll talk about Forest just to wrap up this preview, seeing as they are the opponent we're playing. We've not really mentioned them yet. I mean, if you watch these previews regularly, you know that we very rarely talk about the opposition these days. So I've done my little bit of research before. So Forest are 8th, one position above us, but by only 2 points. So if we beat them, we can obviously go above them. Martin O'Neill is the current boss, with Roy Keane as his assistant. So a duo that Villa fans will be familiar with, Martin O'Neill. We had a question actually about Martin O'Neill. that I made you aware of earlier, so I hope that you've given some thought to an answer ready for this, because I've not really thought of anything. This is from Gary. He says, what were Martin O'Neill's weaknesses as a manager, and can we use those against him? For example, I seem to only recall him being able to play one way. Thoughts?
One thing that Martin O'Neill has never really done is fully got to grips with how the game has changed so fast. In like even from 2009 to 2012, the game completely evolved, and that was from his most successful spell at Villa to kind of Villa going into the wilderness a bit. So how fast the game evolved. I mean, we're seeing we saw a lot more possession and a lot more pressing, and he's kind of just stuck to the basics. I'm not saying he's a limited manager, but I think he's very stubborn. I think he'll find one idea and stick to it. Be damned, and it worked really well at Villa. It hasn't really worked well anywhere else.
That was what, 12 years ago? They're doing well as well. Obviously, they're 2 points better off than we are. They've had some good results this season. Obviously, go back to December, was it, I think, and 5-5 at Villa Park. Yeah. I saw a clip of it earlier. It was Forest that posted it, and they just posted their 5 goals and nothing else.
His 5, but you conceded 5. So
yeah. They were playing them back, and I was watching it, and I was like, I don't even remember like what order these goals were in or anything. I don't know. I don't see that kind of game from Villa anymore. If I'm honest, we seem to have. I don't know what the word is, but we seem to shored ourselves up a little bit. I can't see us conceding 5 in a game again under Dean Smith, with Tyrone Mings in there and Courtney Hawes now and Elmo playing right back. I think also the point that I saw earlier, Jed Steer, I think has he played 3 or 4 now? So he's conceded once against Stoke. To be fair, he hasn't had much to do against Derby, and he didn't really have that much to do against Birmingham. He made a couple of saves, but Birmingham squandered their chances more so than he made great saves. So 3 games, 1 conceded is I hope he keeps it up, but he hasn't had a fat lot to do in any of those games, really. No. But yeah, like I said, I don't see a 5-5 or anything like that happening with Villa again. I can see us scoring goals against teams like we did against Derby, but I don't see us being so shaky and so open that we've seen previously. We'll come on to prediction later. Just talking about Forest very quickly. The 2 names that stood out to me as I was looking through, Joe Lolly, obviously big Villa fan.
Respect.
And Lewis Grabban as well. I think he's got 16 or 17 goals now. Those are the 2 that I sort of stood out as the obvious choices to look out for.
They've got Joe Lolly, and he is, he isn't equal to Grealish, but he may as well be in their team. And against us, he was magic. So fair play. Both teams will be in a lot more of a nervous position because they've got so much to lose. I don't know about Villa. But Forest have got the position on us. They've got the 1 place above us, and that means just that little bit more than us. So maybe there will be nerves going into this for them. Martin O'Neill certainly wants to have a good season, so he can make the case for being there next season, even if they're to go up or stay down. So here goes nothing, I guess. Let's see what we can do, because I feel like Villa got nothing to lose, because you got Tammy Abraham, you got Horahan, you got Grealish, you got some real weapons to do some damage with, and I mean weapons in the positive sense.
Can I get a scoreline prediction from you then? Put your neck on the line.
Okay, so look, it's the way a draw is on the cards. Whether how high the score is in that draw, I don't know. I think.
Would you take a draw?
It's hard because I feel it'd be almost ungrateful not to. You know what I mean? Place above us in 8th, we can leapfrog them. I'll be grateful for a draw. I want a win. I think it's going to be 2-1 Villa, and it'd be really tight. Because
we've played decent in that second half at Stoke. We've blown Derby away. We've done Birmingham. I don't know. I think we might go there and win, and results go your way. And you're going into Saturday 1 point off playoffs or something. Like that sort of like carrot dangling in front of the players of what if. That's got to sort of fire you up and go, right, yeah, what if? That excites people. So what if we go to Forest and beat them 2 or 3-0?
Yeah, let's enjoy it. I mean, if there's one thing we want to do now, just enjoy the football. Enjoy, if this is to be... I mean, I went on about it so long and no one is saying Grealish is going anywhere. But if this is to be his last season at Villa, so be it. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy, the memories we're going to make together. The memories we've already made together. He's played his way into all of our hearts, I guess. And let's see what happens. I'm all here for it. I'm here to write about it, here to indulge in it, and here to really consume the last end of Villa's season. So let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.